how can you be locked in with coding? I've been seeing videos of people talking about how they want to be locked in for the rest of the year, and I want to talk to you about my experience of how tips and tricks that help me stay focused while coding while traveling as well. How I don't just lose focus when I'm traveling and building my business with code, and share with you my experience. My name's David. I'm a freelance web developer currently traveling in Seoul, South Korea. It's been raining all day today, so I'm making this video inside from the room while I usually like to walk around while making the video. I know that coding can be tough. It takes a lot of mental capacity to think. You really have to think when you're coding, and some tips I've used to stay consistent, to stay focused, is that I try to code every single day. I try to code as early as possible. I know that mornings are usually best for me, is when I feel refreshed after a night's sleep. Things from the previous day starts clicking into my memory, and I'm refreshed, and I want to start the day coding because it's mentally hard. I know that I have at least a couple, 2 good hours of coding each day, and I try to just have a morning coffee and code and try to be optimal as possible. And usually I'll code for longer, I'll work for longer, and but if not, 2 hours is like the bare minimum. But it's usually significantly longer. And then on days I work, I try to break up my coding sessions, or I'll work for a morning half and an afternoon or evening half, or morning, afternoon, and evening half, because I find that you have sprints of energy to code. If you're staring at your computer all day for hours straight, it kind of dips at times. So I like to take breaks and break it up. However, I also don't like the tip of setting a timer. I find that, like the Pomodoro technique, you set a timer of should work for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and then take a break. I find that when you do that, my mind thinks about the timer. It takes up bandwidth in my mind about this timer. And even though I set a timer so I don't have to, mentally, it takes bandwidth in my mind, takes me away from my focus. So I don't like to do it. I like to work until my energy naturally dips, however long it is for that day, and then take a break. But sometimes you just get so caught up into it that you're in the zone. In the zone, you don't want to disrupt it. And if you do the Pomodoro technique, you're disrupting this flow you have that could affect your mood. So that's why I don't like using it. And then if I'm in the flow, I just keep working. I become relentless with my coding. Today, I remember I just had lunch for my afternoon time coding, and I had a coffee, but I wasn't getting the zone into it, and I was just staring until I took a break to walk, and then I went back at it, and then I just got in the zone. I had a lot of difficult coding today. It was about like math. There was some math to it, and there's some calculations, and I thought it would be easy, but it's been tougher than I thought. And just taking that break, taking a walk, and tackling it again helped me get in the zone, and I worked more than 2 hours on that feature today. So you have to take focus on sprints of coding, and then if you're losing it, take breaks, take a walk. That's what I like to do. Take a break from staring at the computer. Walking allows me to think more clearly. Just like takes a step back so you can focus more on what you need to do. So You want to try to do it every day. You want to try to use sprints of energy, try to get into the flow state of coding. And if you can't, if you're in flow state, keep going until you're out of flow state. And then if not, take a break, take a walk, do something that's not other work that you have that's not coding into it. I also don't really like taking meetings in the afternoon, evening. If I do have meetings, I actually like to take it in the mornings. So, because if I have meetings and I'm trying to code, I keep thinking about the meeting while I'm coding. So I just try to get it over with in the morning and then use it with then we use the rest of the day to code. So if you have flexibility of when you can organize your meetings with people, your team member work, try to do it in the morning. That's what I like to do. But if not, code in the morning and do shifts, do sprints of coding. So those are my tips. Do this and you can be focused with coding, make progress on it. If you have any tips you have that helps you be focused with coding, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you need help learning how to code, I do a coaching for aspiring developers where we meet one-on-one and coach you, help you think like a developer. If you need help building an app out, feel free to message me as I'm taking on new projects. And that's about it. Oh, and then I'm working on a course as well. So stay tuned for the Fundamentals of Programming course. Thank you so much for watching.